Hi guys, welcome to the Tech and Relationship series of the Love and Life Matters, where we keep it real and raw on matters that relate to love life and life in general. So in this series, we're going to be talking about how technology is reshaping the way we connect, love, and live.
Yes, and today we'll be talking about one of the hottest topic.
Yeah.
It's currently AI in the dating world. Would you trust AI to predict your love chemistry with his algorithm?
Yeah, I think about it. Dating apps use algorithm to suggest a possible match based off on the way you linger on someone's profile,
Yeah.
or also your interest, and even most times the swipes you make. Yeah.
So I think it's really something to consider, considering looking at the big picture, because it's more or less like you're trusting your life decisions, for say, to an algorithm. Yeah, because your love life at some point might translate into your partner. So it's like you're trusting.
And
yes, which is something really big. And then we have models that are predictive now. We have predictive AI. So from your patterns, they can predict, okay, your next step. So are we now saying we're going to trust these AIs and the algorithms that was built on just dating apps to actually predict our love chemistry with the next person over a certain period of time? And then what are the chances?
Sure. I'm Jerry Raymond.
And I'm David.
Okay, now so let's dive into it. You said that the bigger picture here is being like trusting AI to predict a match for you. Like, can you actually really trust AI to like to make a correct match for you? Now let's start with the basis. How does this AI matchmaking thing works? Like, how does it work?
Okay, so set up as a feature thing from dating apps. So it's more of having predictive learnings from these models. So they learn the patterns of your habits, your likes, your dislikes, your profiles, your pictures, your updates, these little things or little choices that you make. And then with those options, they predict the possible outcomes. So it might not necessarily be a single profile or a single connection you get. You might have multiple options, and then you can now choose from those options and narrow it down to possibly a single person. But then progressively, we can see evolutions whereby maybe we might not even have a matchmaking percentage or accuracies in those things, whereby it's okay, you are a X% match with party A or party B.
And we have millions of users on this app, so they tend to compare it with other millions.
Yes, you have so many options to match those profiles with, and then maybe come up with a possible outcome, and then maybe from those outcomes you now get to suggestions.
And then that's why most times when you download an application or this dating app, it's asks for your
location.
Yes, and they'll require what's it called now? Access. They'll ask you
permissions.
Yes, to access all other activities that goes on your app. So when you're on any social media platform, as long as you granted that permission, that access, it has access to check
do background
videos you like to watch.
Yeah, basically monitor your progress on the background.
And then that's how the whole matchmaking thing works.
Yeah, it starts from there, but then the large aspect of that would come from the information they get directly, because those input or those activity they gather might not necessarily or generally form the basis of this decision.
What are the upsides of this AI matchmaking?
Yeah, I think the upside now, it's not me thinking, it's because the upside is actually what everybody should expect, because there is a swipe fatigue that we're all familiar with. But then the upside is now efficiency. Efficiency in the fact that you have quicker matchmaking, because you don't have to filter yourself, like I was explaining in the previous part, whereby you have options presented to you. You're not going through a pool of a million people now. Maybe you're going through fewer profiles now, and then you can now narrow down those options. So it's more efficient, and then it's not stressful for you as well as the party getting involved into online dating.
And to add to that, it's not biased, because AI does not care about you enough to say,
there's no bias.
And this person, and AI will not judge by physical by physical impression or first look or whatever.
Yes, it could even get down to the part whereby maybe the AI itself might even ask you a few questions at setting up your profile of what your possibly connection should look like. So that will also help in narrowing down those options.
Matchmaking.
Yes, the matchmaking.
But like, in all honesty, we are humans, and we are not just humans.
Machines. We're not machines.
Exactly. We are Africans.
Okay.
Is it possible, like, to be honest, can a machine really measure chemistry?
Yeah, so that's the catch now, because we're not machines, and then largely these terminologies for AI are called machine learnings. So we're not machines, so a machine cannot really learn the entirety of a human nature, because we have humor, we have behavioral patterns, we have mood swings, and all of that. So the machine can efficiently evaluate that, because aside this input or these processes that you have, there is a extra behavioral attribute that every person have that maybe the next person might not tolerate. So that cannot be captured. So nonetheless, there is a bit of flaw there, except maybe when we start having machines or AIs that can actually capture those perspective of every human. Yeah.
And then, the thing of this physical connection, people can be together, you see them together, and then you just feel like, these two people, they look so good together, they might look perfect on paper or whatever. Doesn't mean that it really work out.
Okay, let's look at it this way. Algorithm is not biased, but could be biased as well, because at some point it might be looking at a best outcome based off physical appearance. So we could say, you look this way. If this person looks this way, they will form a match, and then possibly maybe their offspring will be beautiful offspring. So we could look at it from that, because not just because it's a bias from the AI itself, but it could be a bias from that generates from the input of both parties. When I mentioned that, you could get to a point whereby the AI get to ask, what kind of person are you looking out for? So because of those options now, your choices now constitutes that bias, which the AI has.
And in as much as the AI has upside, we already listing the limits,
right? The downside of it,
And then, just like I said earlier, you might see somebody, or the AI might match you with someone that physically, based off on all your whole assessment, you people should be a perfect match.
But then you don't find chemistry.
Emotions, mood swing, feelings now comes in. Because just like you said, AI cannot really detect those things.
Yeah, they can't detect or capture it.
Yes. So, and then you start connecting with this person, you now notice that this person is not good for me, or this person is not really
what I was looking for.
I want.
Yeah.
So speaking on human feelings, mood swings, and emotions, AI can only open a door, right? And then the human walks through the door.
Yeah, that's like saying AI can only predict compatibility. So we have to walk through the door and figure out all these things as a human. AI cannot spark emotions. No. AI cannot crack a joke for you to laugh and all those things. So we understand that AI does the predictive analysis for us, narrowing down the swipes or making our search results or the results we have as options limited. But then we also have to look at the human factor of love, because data can be captured for science for scientific purposes, but then the human needs to find that mystery behind love with every connection that they make, and then how they can now progress.
Yes, and then that's where the building of the connection comes in. You start getting to know this person. You start going out on dates. You start exchanging maybe gifts or whatever kind of feelings.
Basically having activities to do together to understand each other better.
These are things that AI cannot do.
Or predict itself. Not predict rather, but predict its outcome. Because at that point, the AI probably is not involved in that process. The AI cannot actually evaluate your emotions to say, okay, this activity with this party was efficient or was pleasant or was as it thought it would be.
Yeah, AI would not be able to also predict if somebody is going to be toxic. it can always start with love, and then along the line, the real nature of that person will begin to come out. And this is something AI cannot
do as well.
And that's why the human nature beats the artificial intelligence nature, in as much as it's good.
Yeah, it does beat it. It does beat it. I agree with you. Yes, I agree with you. But then there's also an essence of having an AI evaluate.
Definitely, and its impact. We cannot rule that out because it's very, very, very important.
But then who knows? AI can beat you at the end of the day, or at some point.
I will not agree with that. I refuse to agree with that. So there's a human side to love, apart from the matchmaking AI,
which is a mystery to machines as well. So.
Yes, it is. And now that this dating thing has entered the society, it's now beginning to look like it's a normal thing.
Yeah, it's a normal thing. Yeah,
it will become a very, 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 very normal thing. What is the future of matchmaking? What does the future look like
with AI? Right. With AI. Okay, so you look at it from this perspective. At this point, we currently have some AI coaches or dating coaches that analyze our activity already, basically from how the next party is responding, response time, charts, and emojis. So imagine having such kind of AIs evaluate your chats and then predict what next you should respond, which would be something that will also predict what the next person or the outcome of the other party's response. So it's more or less like you're working in a predefined path that the AI said, saying, okay, if you do this. So it's like at the end of the day, the dating game sort of becomes like a machine game.
Yes,
a game of chess.
Don't you think it will look like you no longer have control of how you respond to this whole dating thing, especially when it has to do with, some people can get carried away. They'll get so engrossed in this AI thing that even if you want to say good morning, you ask your AI, should I say good morning?
Morning or not?
Or should I
understand.
say?
Yeah, I understand that aspect.
Speaking of this dating coach thing, right?
Yeah.
You ask your coach, should I say good morning or should I ignore him?
What's the best time for me to say good morning to?
You get so we're slowly drifting away from
real connections or physical connections. So that.
And then I came across a story that I'm sure we've seen it online, that she committed suicide, and it's because of she lost connection with physical touch because she became so attached with her AI, and they had to go through her chats with her AI, and they saw that she was, when you cannot beat the human nature.
Yes,
you slowly lose your touch because you're always, AI will give you a certain kind of answer. It won't add it with feelings. It just give you answer, no
a direct
empathy,
answer. There's no empathy added to it.
Just what you want to hear.
It's just a calculated response.
Exactly. So, and then imagine that you're depressed. You need physical
connection, or you need that emotional presence that will actually ease that feeling.
Yeah. And then the story, of course, she committed suicide, and then they had to see her. They saw her chats with the AI where she was crying for emotions or feelings, but AI was just doing its job. So people should know, I don't know, but the thing of getting carried away with this AI matchmaking thing, that you slowly begin to forget that you're a person and you have your own self
and you're
feeling that you feel like computer would, I beg your pardon, AI would fix everything for you and then make life much more
easier. So, but then we also have to look at it from a general perspective, because looking at how AI would impact, or the impact of AI in dating in terms of predictive suggestions and chats, communications, and all of that, we also have to think as a human for ourselves, because you always have the choice.
Yes.
The suggestions from the AI will always be suggestions. There won't be a committed action on your behalf. So if you don't commit those actions, if you don't agree to those responses, then they are not going to be sent, or they're not going to be delivered to the next person as a message.
Now, or even VR dating powered by AI.
Yeah.
How does this VR thing, how does this really
works, right? Okay, the term VR is called virtual reality. So it's like you have a digital space whereby you can meet people, you can have conversation, and not necessarily emotional connections. So that is how that works. So imagine you're dating someone or some other person on the other side of a digital phase, and then you guys get to have a digital hangout. So instead of going to a physical bar or a physical cafe to grab a coffee, you are doing that online or in a VR space. I don't want to use the word metaverse because it's a generalized word. So you get to do that there. So it's something that is a new what is it called, a new trend now, because it's going to come into play, especially in the dating world, because even as friends we can hang out on a VR space and play games together, collaborate and play games. So imagine
now what is really trending is the playing of games.
Yes, so now it's all about entertainment that way. So on the long run, it's going to get into the entertainment, into the dating aspect, whereby you have so many of those activities carried out, and then you have a lot of these applications as well. They're going to spend a lot of money in setting up those kind of spaces. So imagine having a virtual Eiffel Tower as a virtual world, and then you say, okay, we're going to the Eiffel Tower, and then you think she's taking you out with your visa, and then it's like VR.
It's a lie. Oh god, that's crazy. Okay, I'm sure some people will actually like this VR space because you don't need to you don't even need to spend money.
Yeah.
People that are scared of spending
money or
out on dates. She say, I want to make my hair, I need to get new dress.
In fact, you can even buy her a bone straight hair on the VR space. So you just say, okay, I bought you a bone straight hair. Like, wow, when is the package coming? And then he says, no, go and check your profile. It's there. I sent you a bone straight to your profile.
Oh my god, that's so funny. So AI can actually guide us, but AI shouldn't replace us. Like
it shouldn't.
We shouldn't lose ourselves in the process. AI shouldn't replace us, right?
Yeah. So AI can only do the algorithm and do the predictive thinking to a large extent for us. But then on the long run, we should always realize that, okay, we as humans or as individuals, as parties, should do a major aspect of the connection in terms of connecting with these individuals we are interested in as perspectives, and then have meaningful relationships at the end of the day, and also not fall for catfishing and all those things, because it also makes it possible as well. Because at that point, instead of evading your video calls, I could have a digital profile on my VR, and then you're seeing my digital twin and all of that.
Because the most powerful parts of love is the human part.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's the human part. So thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Yes, and we'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all socials.